Gary Chillingworth here for Airgun World Magazine, Shooting Country TV. Welcome to Life at the Range. Well, we've got a fun one today. PCP versus Spring Gun Ultimate Smackdown 2. Although the first Ultimate Smackdown was 97 versus TX, but this is PCP versus Springer. And it's something that a lot of you have actually requested. I get loads of emails saying, Gary, what is more accurate? Well, PCPs are definitely more accurate. They're more consistent, they're not as hold sensitive, but when you get a gun set up perfectly, a spring gun set up perfectly, at 30, 45, 55 yards, can they be as accurate? Well, at 40 yards, I definitely think they can. I also believe they take less wind. So I thought, well, do you know what? That's what we're going to do today. We're going to do 30 yards, we're going to do 45 yards, and then if I can cut a path, we're going to see if we can get out to 55 yards, and we're going to do 3 or 4 shots each with each gun, HFT 500 versus the TX 200 Hunter carbine, and we're going to see what kind of accuracy we can get. I'm going to take a few shots off camera in between each to make sure they're zeroed in and I know what my aim point is for each of the targets, and then we're just going to go straight into it, and it is what it is, and we'll see where the cookie crumbles. So we're going to start off HFT 500, 30 yards. Let's give it a go. Okay, the more observant among you will notice I'm not using my regular red glove, my Anschutz 110. That's because I shot in the wet the other day, forgot to take it out of my gun bag, and when I took it out this morning there were things living in it. So I'm using my manky old Anschutz 109. Right, we've got wind out there, so around about 16 kilometers an hour. That's about 10 miles an hour in proper money. And the reason I know it's 16 is because that's what the BBC said. Okay, so we're going for the left-hand target. Left-hand circle. Just to the left. So, can I have that one as a mulligan? Ignore that one. Let's go for it again. That's one. Oh, that one dropped slightly low. So this is at 30 yards. That's 3. And that's 4. Okay, well, my eyes are not that great, but I think that's a relatively tight group. So let's grab the Springer. Talk amongst yourselves, I'll be back in a sec. Right, I'm going to put 2 shots through this. Okay, do you know what? I know this gun. Now this is colder. This has not been shot for about a week. So let's just go for it. 30 yards. Shooting the one on the right. Half a dot up. Okay. Ooh, that one dropped low and left. That wasn't a very good shot, was it? Let's not forget, a lot of this can be me and not the gun. Gun's great, I suck. Right, 30 yards, don't suck. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that went through the slightly lower target. I think it went through the same hole. Let's put one more down there. Well, let's go and get the targets and let's have a look. But I think they're fairly similar. Okay, well, here we have our target. On the left here was the HFT 500 and on the right was the TX 200. Both well within a 15mm target at 30 yards. Now obviously in HFT at 30 yards it will be a 20mm target, but they're both kills. I'm using these shoot and see targets, and you can see we're using these tiny little black dots as opposed to the big ones to get our level of accuracy. But that way, wasn't it? But you can see that the wind is definitely going from right to left, so it's definitely pulling us out, and we've got, I would say, similar amount of wind on both targets. I'll be honest with you, I'm happy with both of those, and that's it at 30 yards. So I think now we need to do is push out to 40 and let's see how we go from there. Okay, so here we have our target. This was our TX 200. As you can see, we had 3, maybe 4, all within about 20mm, but we had a high one and a low one. Now that is around about 30mm top to bottom. As you can see, we're all coming out to the left because of our right to left wind. Our PCP is considerably tighter. Still not fantastic, but again, because of wind we've got out there, and that's probably the best I can do in the wind. But I would say that is around about 25mm, so probably a good 5mm shorter. Okay, so 55 yards. Now I was toying with the idea of adjusting the parallax so that we could eliminate any parallax error, but I'll be honest with you, I don't want to mess with my competition gun, so we're all shooting these with the 30-yard parallax that they were shot with the other 2 targets on. So left hand target, let's have a go. I think that took a fair chunk of wind. Well, it's hitting the metal. I think it's taking about 2 mil dots of wind right to left. So let's aim off. So we've got 2.5 mil dots drop. Okay, too much wind there. So about 1 mil dot, I think. Right, so Be nice just to get one on. 1, 2. Oh, there we go. Hit the top of the target. So I think we're now dialed in. It's a 30-yard zero. 2.5 mil dots drop at 55. Okay, well, we're getting on the target now. Okay, I shot a bit early then and I didn't see where it hit. One of the biggest problems you have swapping from a spring gun to a PCP is the lightness of the trigger. Right, last one, and then we'll go on to the spring gun. Well, there we go. I don't think that's a bad little group at 55 yards. And I've just realised that I did a stupid thing by attaching the targets to the ladder and shooting the metal. So I can't bring the bit of card back here to show you. So we're going to have to go up there and see it. So let's have a go with the spring gun. Come on, you mighty TX, time to redeem yourself. Okay, right. 5 shots. Mil dot and a half drop because this has got a 40-yard zero. And again, we're going to give it a mil dot of wind like we did with the HFT 500. Target on the right. Oh, can you hear that wind? I think that was right on the edge of the target. Would be nice to get one slap bang in the middle. I think that was pretty much the same place. I really hope this is coming out the other end. I think that might have been on the target. Tell you, it's so much difference looking at targets at 55 yards compared to what we're used to. The extra 10 yards is a big difference. Certainly a big difference in wind as well. Okay, last one, and then we'll go down and we'll have a look. Right, well, 5 shots at 55 yards. I think that's a pretty good group. Got a funny feeling that that's going to be a better group than it was at the 45 yards. But let's go and have a look and see how we did. Right, well, here we go. We're going down the old range. Don't know if I've taken you for a walk around the range before. So we do have a road on our right hand side. but we always make sure that whenever we're shooting, no pellets can get anywhere near that road. Alright, so there's our 45 yard, and there, actually I'll be honest with you, I could only get 54 yards, so I was fibbing to you a bit. Right, so let's just set the tripod up. Probably make you feel a bit seasick, this moving you around. Right, where are we? There we go. And there's just zoom you in a little bit. Now I've got to walk through the stinging nettles in my Crocs. Right, turn that camera off. Right, pull my trousers up. So as you can see here, we've got, these were our initial ones when we were trying to work out the windage, but then we're all pretty much around this tiny little group. Then we'll hit one here, so that's all pretty good. That's all around about 20-25 mil at 45 yards. This was our first one, I think, with our TX when we were going out to the left. Then we've got one here, one here, one here, one here, and I don't know where the fourth one was. So what do you think about that? Just wait for that car to go past. Van. We've got a group that's slightly bigger than your fingernail at 55 yards with a spring gun. I think this is clearly a tighter group, but I don't think there's a lot in it. I think when you shoot off the deck, which I can with my TX, it's as much as a muchness when it comes to spring guns versus PCPs. So I think now what we need to do is we need to go into the other garden and set up a supported target at 30 yards and see how that goes. Okay, so here we are out at 30 yards. PCP, and this is where I think the PCP will shine. But I will probably suck. I'll take that every day of the week. We're going to go with 3 shots. See, I'm not having to think about grip. I can grip the front of the gun really hard, push against the tree, do whatever I want to do, and it's not going to affect the rifle. Slightly to the right. Now, do you see the wind indicator on the front? It's pushing directly from front to back. If we go that way, you can see it's blowing towards you. So we're not having to worry about windage. Third shot. Oh, I snatched at that one, so that wasn't, I mean, it went through, but that wasn't a fair test. That was me trigger finger trying to find the second stage. So I'm not going to, even though that was a kill, I'm not going to take that one as one of mine because that was unfair. And there we go. I think they're pretty much all touching. Slightly right of centre. Certainly not unhappy with that. Let's go with the old TX. Okay, TX 200 Hunter carbine, 30 yards. Frankenstock. See, now I'm having to think about how I hold the gun. Equal pressure on the right, equal pressure on the left. and not gripping a rifle and stopping it from recoiling. Right hand target. But again, do you know what? I'll take that. These are the 25mm targets. In HFT, 25mm target can go out to 30 yards. A 35mm target on a knee-law stand can go out to 40 yards. So let's go for another one. Well, that was a proper miss. And do you know what? That's because I wasn't thinking about my hold. I just went on there and shot it. Right, let's concentrate on let's do 2 more, and let's really concentrate like I'm in competition, which probably means I'm even going to do even worse. Right, alignment, alignment, alignment. Well, not bad. Still looks like within a 25mm target, so I think that would have been a kill. Let's go for one more. I think then we're done. And we drop low. So let's go and have a look at the target and see how we did. Okay, well here we are. Look at that. 3 shots, all within little finger. Yeah, if we pull that off, we can see a better target. Look, bang, 1, 2, 3, and there was a 4th one within there. Yeah, that's absolutely great. Whereas if we take this off, we had 1, 2, we had that high one and we had that low one. And that's what I'd expect from shooting a spring gun versus a PCP. Off the deck, and this is essentially our conclusion, off the deck, I genuinely believe that you can shoot a spring gun almost as accurately as you can a PCP. I'm not going to win any competitions in bench rest, but I think if you put me out of 40 yards against someone with a top end PCP, I'm not going to be that far away. But when we get into the unsupported shots, the supported shots off of things like trees, bales and stuff like that, you've now got so much more to contend with. So where are we in the ultimate smackdown? HFT 500 versus TX. Well, the win has to go to the PCP, but not a lot in it. And a top Springer shooter can take... Hi, Gary here. As you can see in the video, we lost the sound at the very last second when I was giving my conclusion. Say hello, Oreo. This is Oreo. I know. Hello. Right, okay, so where were we? Well, Ultimate Smackdown, HFT 500 versus TX. Was there a lot in it? No, there wasn't. You know, if you get a top Springer shooter and not me, and put him against an average PCP shooter, I think that the Springer guy might have it. But I think if you're ever talking about shooting a top spring gun shooter versus a top PCP shooter, I can't see there ever being a day, the World Championships or something like that, where the spring gun's going to win it. Because there's a reason PCPs are so good. Spring guns still have got movable parts within them. You know, they're amazing. They're fantastic things. But there's a reason a PCP is a PCP. So, where'd you have it? Is there a lot in it? No, I don't think there is. Certainly off the deck, there's not a huge amount. But when you start getting into the shooting off of trees and things like that, hello, when you're going to start getting out shooting off of trees and things like that, then yeah, the PCP has got a massive advantage. So, ultimate smackdown, got to give it to the PCP. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all again on the range very, very soon. Oh, one thing before you go, I've got a request. I'm really struggling with filming the targets. I've either got to get the camera so close that I risk ricochets and damaging the camera, or when I put the targets further back, sorry, the camera further back, and I've got to zoom in, I'm getting blurry imagery, and then if I've got to crop it, it's also getting blurry. I'm just not sure what to do. I just can't seem to get really clear. I can use shoot and see targets, they don't work very well. I shoot card, that doesn't work very well. A friend of mine suggested just shooting bits of board. Any of you got any ideas, please let me know. It'll be a big help to the channel. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Ta-da!